Okay, folks, we're back. And I hope that you are ready for another bit of stuff here from us. But Dwayne, I have got a couple of things. Well, I tell you what. I perused the newspaper this morning, and I found some distressing stuff in there.
Okay, what depressed you?
Well, this wasn't the newspaper per se. There was a story, but on TV it showed U.S. B-2 bombers, the stealth bombers, on runs bombing the Houthis in Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
That's
this the B1 or B2, B2B?
the B2, yeah, the flying wing.
Yeah, it looks like a bat.
Yeah.
Something out of Batman.
Yeah. This, to me, is quite an escalation in our involvement over there.
Yeah, I think it is too. And now we're putting in the anti-missile people with the crews. My point is, contention is, or worry is that, what if they get wiped out? What if that 100 crew manning the missile thing takes an unlucky hit? Do we retaliate, or we just say, oh, gee, we were in the wrong place at the wrong time?
This is my worry. We have a president who is, let's be generous about this, not particularly functional, that is making decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this his chief of staff that is making these calls and he's just saying, oh, okay? Or is it Obama? See, of all the nonsense that's going on, this fact that we have no idea who's running the country in reality.
In reality, well, Bill, if you go back in reality, we haven't had an idea who's running the country for years, because there's always stuff going on behind the scenes.
I understand that, but we have a president that is in a mental meltdown, to be generous about it.
Well,
and how does he sift through facts and provide the guiding hand?
I don't know, but see, the other one coming up scares me just as much. Trump is losing it. He's one step away from being Biden. Listen to his speeches and stuff. He rambles all over and he loses his train of thought. Then he tried to say, well, I weave. It's a genius thing. Weave hell, you don't know what you're talking about half the time. You finish it, you go one sentence, you stop, you go on to something else.
Here's the deal. He thinks that he does not need to prepare for addresses. That he doesn't need to do or have a staff that's doing research and is giving him stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
He really thinks that he is the smartest man in the world.
That's right.
Now, with an IQ of 164, he's up there.
We don't know that, though. Nobody's ever. He won't release anything.
He's been tested.
Who knows?
Well,
you got no. Well, first of all, you got no educational records. He won't even let out his high school transcripts. He won't let Wharton. He won't let college stuff. Everything has to be sealed. He won't let any health thing. He won't. Nobody knows about this cognizant test that he's talking about. And somebody else said, well, there's no score on that damn thing. You can't score higher than anybody's ever seen it. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But people just accept all this stuff, but it's not a big deal. I mean, he's a narcissistic, egotistical, God knows what he would call him.
Genius.
Genius.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, look, give the guy this much credit. that he can handle about 12 balls in the air at once.
I don't
and
think so.
we'll watch him when he does the line, when he talks to the reporters.
Yeah, what?
He's never at a loss for an answer,
Well,
no matter what question they ask him.
Even if it's a ridiculous answer, he's got an answer.
He's got an answer.
Well, yeah, okay, but I don't. That's
Well,
I'll go back to
yeah,
who's running the country.
right.
The point is that the president does not run the country. Ever.
Makes the final decision, and he's got the football.
Read, what was it, Elder's Secret Oath book, former Secretary of Defense, and see who's got the football.
Again, these stories that are written after the fact by former insiders that for one reason or another have an axe to grind are not always spot on.
No, they're not, but they got an interweaving theme among them.
Well, I'll tell you.
Read some of them and then see if they don't scare the pants off you.
Ronald Reagan ran things, or was he from a different era?
I think he was probably a different era.
But there was no doubt about who was in charge.
No, not with him. But anyway, it won't matter. Like I said to somebody else one time, I mentioned to you too, it's not going to make a damn bit of difference who gets elected. It's not going to affect you and me.
You know what? Generally speaking, you're correct.
We're not
and
going to.
I've had this discussion with my son Peter.
Mm-hmm.
He gets upset about some things, and I said to him, Peter, it's a great education, the American electoral system. It's wonderful to hear what these guys have to say, but damn it all, when it's all over, the next morning, Peter Crane still goes to work.
That's right.
Peter Crane still drives his
Same car he drove
Nissan
yesterday.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, that's right.
Peter Crane still does this and he does that, and whoever is sitting in the White House is not going to affect Peter Crane.
No.
No. However, now I'll contradict myself. When they put forward plans to change Social Security or the Obamacare, medical insurance stuff, now it starts to affect.
Now it will, in a case like that.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But
that's
do you
a
really
two-way
think
sword.
do you really think we would elect a president right now that would attempt to get rid of Social Security?
I tell you what, if he did, he would be just as well off to go into a back room and commit suicide.
That's my whole point. Yeah.
Yeah, because he can't do it. And they better get a hold of Medicare too and fix that. And they are spending money like it is water on this green stuff.
Yeah.
All right? Maybe, just maybe, there are some things we should be doing, and we're doing them. And I'll tell you what we're not doing, and which is a cardinal sin, in my estimation. We should be working on cleaning up the oceans. All right?
Mm-hmm.
The oceans are getting full of crap. Fish are dying. All kinds of animal life are dying. All right? I don't want to see haddock die. I like
either.
haddock
Or cod.
and cod. And
You know what? The problem here is that you and I see the problem, or we see the problem as a country. Canada sees the problem. Sweden sees the problem.
Yeah.
China doesn't see the problem.
No, they don't.
Venezuela doesn't see the problem.
No, they don't.
Argentina doesn't see the problem.
That's right. And North Korea doesn't.
They don't see
either.
the- oh my
No,
God.
they don't see squat.
Most of Eastern Europe don't see the problem. They're too busy trying to survive
Yep.
to worry about anything else. And we can't do this alone. We could put in the U.S. and Canada could put in the most strictest environmental laws that you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't.
The
difference in the-
earth spins.
Yeah, the dial would only move this different.
Yeah.
Because while we do A, the others do B and C.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what really, another problem is we think that the United Nations is a good thing. It's nothing.
It's nothing. It has no teeth.
Absolutely nothing. And you know what? Only good thing we could do is to take the United Nations building and convert it into luxury apartments and collect rent off
Junk
of
and
it.
rent, yeah. Yeah, yeah. They've never had any
It
teeth.
is it's a platform for the ne'er-do-wells of the world to
Yeah.
blast out their hatreds.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of hatreds, what sort of direction is the United States going in with the Israelis and the Iranians, if you will? Because Iran is behind all of this
Of course.
crap. Because one day it's President Biden calling Netanyahu and saying, "Don't do this. Don't do this. Pull back. Don't do this." And then the next time you read something in the paper, we've just sent them the advanced missiles. We've just sent them more stuff.
I don't know. I know we can't make a intelligent decision on this stuff because we don't know.
That's right.
We don't know what's going on in the
That's right.
background. We have no idea what their actual objectives are. Even if we might, as a government, we might not know.
Tell me something. If the Israelis now, see, Biden said to them, "Don't hit the oil, don't hit the nuclear." Well, okay, what are we going to do? Drop bombs out in the sand?
Yeah.
But supposing he had kept his mouth shut and the Israelis wiped out the nuclear capabilities, if they can. Now, I know they're buried underground and all that. But if they could,
yeah, okay.
what would be the reaction of the world?
Overjoyed.
Middle East would be overjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if they went a step further and knocked the mullahs out at the same time,
Yeah.
then a very decent, refined country would exist, the Persians.
Oh, if you could get rid of that theocracy that they've got,
Yep.
that mullahs and the ayatollahs and the country itself, the people would not be disappointed.
No.
They would love to get rid of them.
They had long been the most
Oh, yeah.
educated people in the
absolutely.
Middle East. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know this goes back years and years and years because we're old.
Yeah.
But back in college, one of my best friends was Iranian.
Yep.
And his father was the minister of education under the Shah, the last Shah they had. I mean, he told me people were happy. People were comfortable with it.
They were cosmopolitan.
Yeah, he said, that's right. And he did have a privileged lifestyle. They had talking about their hunting lodge. They called it a lodge. We call it a mansion up in the mountains, and there's ski lodges and all this other stuff. But the people lived well.
And they had a good economy.
Yeah, a very good economy.
Because based on oil.
Yep. And then Ayatollahs showed up and
Yep.
mullahs showed up and things went to hell on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the population themselves would not be sorry to see these guys go.
Right. Oh, I agree. And the Saudis would be very, very happy. The Egyptians would be
Oh.
very, very happy. I mean, you name it. There's not too many countries over there that will be disappointed
Nope.
in this turn of events. And boy, it's long overdue. It's the best thing that could happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the world would applaud the Israelis.
Yeah,
No,
they-
North Korea wouldn't. And the Russians wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't.
Okay. But the civilized countries of the world
China would
applaud.
say no, and then take advantage of it and say, yeah,
So, yeah,
great, yeah.
another market for us to sell
That's
into.
right.
Get them EVs going over there. I had some stuff I wanted to talk about quickly. I cut out a few quick stories from the paper today that I thought were great. Survey shows 55% of families are worried about their financial future. To what degree are they worried about it? I don't know. But this is rocky times right now. Inflation has kicked people in the butt, but what has really hurt people has been the cost of housing.
Yeah. That has knocked so many people out of the housing market or opportunity to own a home. I don't know what the hell the answer is going to be on that, because that's new territory. We've never been in that before.
I don't think you can build enough houses and house the people. What are we going to do? Are we going to build apartment houses, condominiums, and all that? Where are we going to get the land? Oh, by the way, so it's a government agency that was empowered to build some housing, and it passed a law. They got the money for it. 4 years later, they are still working on the plans.
Oh,
Not one nail has been driven.
That doesn't surprise me. Doesn't shock me.
And how about the billions of dollars for the charging stations all over the country? Just one that's working. One.
It's
The private sector has got to be empowered to do it.
yeah.
Now, you take a look at the Norfolk Fire Station.
Oh my God.
The company, I've watched it every day. That company, that construction company, did a beautiful job. And they are now, I don't know whether they got it done on time or not, but it's just a matter of a month or so, I think. But you take a look at what they did day by day by day, the private sector. If that were a government project,
Oh
I
my.
wonder how long that would have taken. Well, they probably wouldn't have even started it.
No.
They'd still be wrangling over the number of windows.
Yeah, and this state's, it doesn't matter what it is, they spend so much money on planning and picky this and picky that.
Yep.
Was it North Attleboro's looking at a new school system or a new school, high school, for $250-some million? I remember when Newton North, not that far, Newton South, one of them, the Newtons, came into a high school of 52, and people thought that was outrageous.
Yeah.
Now you got diddly North Attleboro or Attleboro coming in at 250, $250 million.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, I saw in the paper the other day, they just authorized $3 or $4 million to plan it.
Yeah.
Who the hell needs $3 or $4 million to plan it?
Well, you've got to have the proper blueprints because they've got to be submitted to the state.
But do like other states do. They have a series of blueprints already in the file. You want one that's this big? Well, here's the blueprint. All big.
We don't want cookie cutters.
All you got to do is change this room and change that room and change this for this, and you're all set.
Yeah.
But here, no, we got to start. Each one's got to start from scratch, be completely their fingerprint on it.
And even if you got a template,
Yeah.
well, we don't want this, we don't want that, we'll have to get the engineering company in. Can we do this? Can we do, oh.
God, it's no wonder we can't get anything done here.
I know. It's amazing we survive at the rate we do. Here's another interesting thing, Dwayne. 43% of the people polled had unused gift cards in their possession.
Gift cards are a big profit item for the vendor selling them because of so few get cashed. Or not so few, but so many lesser.
Average amount total of cards in each home, $244.
We're guilty.
Hey, I can tell you this, that I bought gift cards. They got lost in the house because we didn't wrap them up and give them to people as presents at Christmas.
Yep.
So I said to Susie, where are the cards? Neither one of us know where they are.
Yep. I found $250 worth of Amazon gift cards we didn't even know we had.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to do. I mean, my desk is a nightmare. There's a multitude of sins in those drawers.
Yeah, mine too.
I don't even like looking in there for Christmas cards.
So much stuff that should have been thrown out years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I am just as bad. If I had this slip about 43% of the people, well, should I throw it out or what if I'm insane? However, there's somebody that is more insane than me. This drives me nuts. I wish we had money for our retirement. We didn't plan properly. Oh, let's sell our insurance policy and then we can relax and enjoy our retirement the way it was. Well, guess what? There is a company that's advertising that they buy
out
these
your
things.
life
Yeah.
insurance. Yep.
They put their prices on TV.
Oh, really?
$300,000 policy will give you $30,000 cash.
Sure.
That's 10 cents on the dollar. That $300,000 you bought for the kids when you pass away to help them on in life. And so you take 30 cents on the dollar and you're going to spend that or blow it or whatever. How desperate do you have to be to do something like that? And not only that, but they're not telling customers, people, to go to the insurance company and ask them what the cash value of it is.
Yep.
They want to act as the middleman because they grab 30% before they go to the insurance company and say, what is the buyout price?
Did you get it, Bill? That shouldn't surprise you.
No.
Each generation coming up, back, we really, back in the 50s and the 60s, and things they thought different then. Today, it's what can I do today to satisfy me right now? We instant gratification is the key today.
Yeah.
They don't think ahead. They don't think beyond.
They don't think beyond the next trip that they're going to take or the next car they're going to buy. Yeah.
And they're not going to buy a entry-level vehicle or a middle vehicle. If they want that, they'll go for the top.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If I can afford it, if I can't afford it, well, they'll get repossessed.
Which brings up another subject. Have you looked at any of the Gemini cars?
Yeah, I know. The CV 70s and 60s,
80s and 90s, yeah. These cars are fantastic cars.
Yeah, they're Hyundais.
Hyundais,
Yeah.
that's right. And Consumer Report, Motor Trend. I mean, they compete with the German supercars,
Yeah, they
the
do.
BMWs and the Audis and
Yeah.
all that. Well, that 80 and 90 are beautiful cars, and the front end is bold. And they didn't put a spot for the license plate. So they have to hang it right in the middle
of
of
it.
that beautiful grill.
Yeah, well,
That's why I haven't bought one.
me too. I said, if I can't put my license plate where I want it, I'm going to.
Well, every time I see one, I say to myself, I'd never do that.
Well, we don't have a front license plate anymore, do we?
Yeah,
The new ones?
Oh,
You
yeah.
got to get a new plate, you get a front plate.
2 plates.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't get a tag for them.
No, we went to the old one tag will do it trick, and then the police finally said, look, you're really
They want the number in the
back
front,
to the
too.
2s again, yeah. Quickly, I'm going to shuffle this stuff off to one side. This is what I found in the newspaper this morning. Well, we talked about the U.S. to send missile defense system and troops to Israel. Do we really know what we're doing here? No. I don't think so either. Man. And then the stealth bombers. So the Democrats are selling access to their vice president nominee Waltz in a big party, but it's very secretive, in Boston, this fundraiser.
Yeah.
And for $100,000, you can meet Governor Waltz. And for other, and then the seats are all priced down.
Oh, yeah, they always are.
Yeah. The only seats that are sold out are the $500 seats, which are so far up and away. But a donation of $25,000 puts you at the sponsor level and gives you a photo line with the with Waltz.
That's a common
Yep.
common
And
deal.
the $100,000 gives you access to a host reception. Now you're going to go?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now,
I booked a whole table. 10 spots.
you know what? You are Mr. Good Guy.
Oh, I figure, what the hell? I got so much money, I don't know what to do with it.
This
Me
is
and
it.
me and Don, what do you say? I'm rich as hell.
The MBTA had a derailment the other day.
Oh, yeah. Going 3 times the speed limit through that area.
36 miles an hour in a 10-mile-an-hour zone.
Yep.
I thought these things were computer controlled so that they couldn't do that.
You
Well,
know,
obviously, there's a very simple override someplace.
the MBTA and their operating people are a joke.
You're not just a kidding, Buster.
How many times have you found that they were sleeping?
Oh, yeah.
They were doing something else
Yeah.
on their phone. They're not even supposed to have a cell phone, but they had a big crash. She was on her phone.
The maintenance people had like a shift, the overnight shift.
Yeah.
And, well, so many of you guys can sleep tonight. Then so many of you guys can sleep tomorrow night. And then on the third night, maybe we'll see if we can get some work done.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
I worked for a company, we sold to them people.
Yeah?
I used to have to go call on them.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, my God.
You didn't catch anybody passed out from overwork, did you?
No, when
No?
you walked into that place, it was so quiet. Somebody's reading the newspaper, another guy's got a book, But, oh, my God, when you want to do something with them, you had to jump through hoops.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody, I never saw so many people that wanted their hands on everything that you did. Their hands out, too.
Yep.
And then you had to break your bid down to under a certain dollar so they didn't have to go out for public bid. If it was, I don't know what it was, $300 or $500, and it was 50,000, we had to make 100 different offers to them so they could get it underneath that bid, so nobody could see what they were actually paying for anything.
Exactly. We'll see if we can keep it under 300. That way, I don't have to get 3 signatures.
That's right. I can do what I want with it. Yep.
The ACLU.
Oh God.
Is now backing Karen Weed.
That's I got right here. You know, well, we don't know, but anytime the ACLU gets involved, the person is guilty. That's my statement.
Yeah.
Because they never back up the prosecution on anything. It's always the defendant. And if they get involved, it's usually the guy is usually guilty.
And I never really thought about it
they
that
love
way.
to go for the underdog.
Well, yeah, and obviously, do you think Karen Reed is guilty?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, there's so much evidence that they ignored. The broken taillight. First of all, just if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck.
You know what?
But just think, why would he go? The guy that got killed, I forgot his name.
Yep.
Don't matter. The victim.
O'Rourke?
Yeah, something. O'Keefe, I think it was.
Yeah.
Why would he go to some other cop's house and then, for some reason, they'd kill him and then drag him out in a snowbank and stick him out in the snowbank?
Yeah, O'Keefe. Yeah. Well,
and they're cops. They know damn well that they're going to be able to tell that the body was moved. They know damn well there's going to be snow and there's going to be somehow tracks and stuff. It just didn't make any sense.
Well, the defense probably had, I'm not sure, but I will say this. It seems to me the jury blew this.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
They wanted not guilty right across the board, and they got hung up on manslaughter. Why? Why didn't someone on the jury say, look, let's compromise. Let's convict her of operating to endanger.
Yeah.
Okay? Which, if you think about it, she threw it in reverse and backed up.
Mad.
And it was.
No, I don't think she chased him down the street.
No.
I think that she did exactly what.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm madder than hell, and I stuck it in the ground. I put the accelerator down. Did I hit something? Oh,
Yeah.
well, just go.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right. I don't think she was guilty of murder.
No, see, that was my point from the beginning. She was overcharged, legally term. Instead of second-degree murder, it's DUI with personal injury or whatever. Operating under the influence with personal injury.
But of course,
death.
they didn't. Yes, they did. They did get an alcohol test of her.
Yeah.
They could have got it for DUI.
That's right.
And
but see,
that's it.
that's my next point here. We got to change Mr. What's his name? The DA in
Morrissey.
Morrissey. He's 70-some years old. He's been there for 100 years. He screwed this up. He screwed the one up in Stoughton there. I mean, how long do we keep this guy in there?
But you know what? They're covering up. This guy was a cop.
Yep.
All right? The cops are saying, we're going to slam her. Yep. She killed our buddy. Yeah.
But that's why we gotta move that prosecutor out of that office, or that DA out of that office.
Yeah.
He's long gone.
Listen, he's part of county government, and that's the most corrupt government in the state of Massachusetts. Well,
I believe that she was overcharged from the beginning, and
Yep.
I don't know. Could not understand why they went for a charge like
nope.
that.
DUI or operating to endanger
Yep.
or both,
Yeah,
and that's it. All right.
Yep.
So she gets 90 days in the House
Yeah.
of Correction if they really
or
slam her.
6 months probation.
That's
That's gonna
exactly.
happen. Probably a big fine.
And that really matches the crime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because she did. Second degree murder is only one step away from first degree murder, and the only difference is intent.
Yeah.
Precognitive,
and then
pre-intent.
manslaughter and
And the
aggravated manslaughter, and there's steps in there too. But yeah,
I don't. That was the prosecutor's office again that
of course
brought that.
and it was because the police were pressing them. Here's a story. Nearly 4,000 collisions of deers with automobiles last year.
Oh God, I can not surprised it wasn't more.
It's a record high. Well, gee, now, since we shut hunting down in most areas, especially this side of the Connecticut River, since we have seemingly incompetent drivers by the droves out there, we've got no way to test on drugs, and we've pretty much waved our hands in the air and say, well, we're not going to prosecute anybody. Now, here's my pet peeve. Cars are too complex. The controls in today's cars, you have to have a degree in computer study in order to run the heater and the air conditioner.
Exactly right.
And then they've got a great big television screen, and what do? You look like this when you want to change the bloody radio station, or the Consumer Report said too that to adjust the heater down 2 degrees, it's a 2-step process. You got to hit one button
Yeah,
to hit another button.
I saw that. My daughter-in-law got a new Lexus RX. I think it's called.
The minivan. Not minivan, but
SUV.
SUV.
And honest to God, it's got a screen comes up about that big.
Yeah.
And everything that you want done, you got to touch. I couldn't run the damn thing.
I couldn't either. I look at them and I just walk away from them. I just, boy. And so that there's too bloody much distraction. No wonder the deers are getting hit.
As far as the quantity of deer getting hit, I don't doubt that at all, because you see enough of them around here.
Yeah.
This is nothing. You get out in the Midwest someplace. I remember we were there a year ago, September, for a week or 10 days. And there was nights, we were staying with her sister and her brother-in-law. And if we'd go out, we were going someplace and they were going through. He warned us, when you're coming back, he says, and it starts getting darker and dark. He says, be very careful with the deer. And we would go 10 miles and see 15, 20 deer.
Dwayne, I was in the Villanova. There's a city in Pennsylvania, Villanova, but the university is right there. And Media was a town, a couple of towns away. And that's where the Foxborough Company was located, their office. I drove through parts of Villanova into Media.
Yeah.
The most beautiful homes you want to see. Huge grassy lawns, and every damn lawn had a half a dozen deer
on them. I saw that in Texas when we were down there.
I mean, I kept looking. Look at them over there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yumping Yemeni. No wonder they get hit.
But we had multiple times. I would just going down these country roads. I just stop because there's 8 of them on the road standing there.
Yeah.
And the problem was, if you go through them, they'll move, but you don't know who's just off the edge of the road. He's going to jump out too. So I just wait. Sometimes I'd honk. Sometimes they just look at you. Yeah,
That moves them a little bit too. And the turkeys and the Canadian geese are the same way.
yeah. We had a buck this past week.
yeah.
Little, probably a 2-year-old, 3-year-old. I would call him 3-point on each, only about this big. And he's looking in the windows, in the French door in the back. He's standing off there because he could see us moving around, and he didn't know what it was. And he looked at him. I said, "Look at my, you got company watching you here at the sink."
Was he looking at his own reflection?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
But he kept looking and looking, and just.
Yeah.
I said, he's so confused at what this is.
Well, the city council rejected a petition in the city of Worcester that elected officials be U.S. citizens.
Oh my God! What a radical concept.
I mean, the Republican City Committee had a petition that required candidates running for elected offices in Worcester to be U.S. citizens, and the board rejected it.
That don't surprise me.
Yeah. Now, maybe because the Republicans did it and there's a Democratic board, but who knows? I mean, well, here's a big headline: Bloodbath in the waters of Great Point. We've got a shark eating a seal. Oh, my.
Two protected species.
In any given day, how many sharks eat how many seals off of Cape Cod?
Who knows?
I'm sure it's in the hundreds.
Oh, there's got to be.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be there if they
That's
weren't
right.
chowing down on them.
But yet, a big story,
Yeah.
like it never happened before.
Well,
Oy.
there's an old saying, but this was taking it to a new step. If it bleeds, it leads.
So now I'm getting to one of my favorite questions here. The submersible submarine, the one that went down to check.
This is the one that imploded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to
Titan, I think it was called.
the Titan, exactly. And it was going down to look at the Titanic.
Yep.
Would you ever get in one of those things to go down and look at the Titanic?
No.
Even in your foolish youth, would you have done it? No.
And here's why. There's photographs already.
Yeah.
You can see what's there. There's films, there's tape, there's everything. I don't see any value in going and see it in person. It's going to look just like you think it looks like because you just saw it.
Or you might see less.
Even less. Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
there's been hundreds of
That's
pictures
right.
taken.
A good point. So I don't put that much value sometimes in seeing it for real as opposed to seeing it. You're right. You see more.
Yeah. I just, to me, I've never done dangerous things. I have, but unwittingly. But I don't understand what the thrill is of that.
I always say, when you see these people doing, I don't care if it's skydiving or bungee jumping or anything, I said, my life is not that boring that I want to risk it for some kind of thrill.
Yeah, on a damn piece of rope tied around my leg.
Yeah, exactly. I said, I'm not bored.
Bungee jumping.
Or these damn fools that go to Pamplona, Spain, and run with the bulls.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't feel sorry for them when the bull catches them.
No, I root for the bull, to be honest with you.
But I don't. You'd have to have. These people are so bored, apparently, with their life that they have to have some kind of thrill on it and risk it. Well, if you risk it and you lose, that's the chance you took.
Two more. Remembering Luis Tiant,
Oh yeah.
El Tiante.
Yep.
He passed away at 83. That makes me worry
All of us.
because I'm going to be 84 here
Yeah.
in a week or two. And he was a character.
Yeah.
He was fun. He never took himself seriously. And he's not in the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Hit 573 career starts, 187 complete games. If a pitcher pitches a complete game now, it's a miracle.
No, it's headlines.
49 shutouts and a 3.3 earned run average over his lifetime. 229 wins. Three-time All-Star. And finished in the top 6 in Cy Young voting 3 times. And was a wonderful spokesman for baseball.
Yeah, he was.
Belongs in the Hall of Fame. And I don't know why he's not there.
I only ever met 2 baseball players that I know of. You know, actually, and one was when I was working years ago with Mickey. Stanley hired him to work in the booth. It was Mickey Mantle to greet people. And he was a horror show. He drunk, rude, crude. He always had to have one of the Stanley people with him. To say, no,
Yeah.
that's okay, Mickey. We'll go. We'll talk to these people over here because he'd get going on hitting on some woman someplace right there in front of her husband. And the other one was Oil Can Boyd.
Dennis Boyd.
We were the seats that we had, the corporate seats, not my seats, were right one section beyond first base. Right on the railing there, and they had 4 seats there, and Craig was 8, probably 8 or 9, and my mother had at some senior center someplace, had won this baseball glove. It was a professional type Rawlings glove. Of course, on him the glove was that big, and he had a little hand. Well, Oil Can was there, and Craig says, would you sign my glove? He comes over and he's talking, and he says, what's a little guy like you doing with this great big glove? He says, that's a good one. He said, how come you not? And he said, well, my grandma gave it to me, and she was there. And he says, she said, well, I want it. He said, oh, I understand. He says, she's a good grandma, isn't she? Yeah. So they're talking, and he's signing all this stuff on his glove. And that's the only time
I've met Oil Can Boyd 3 or 4 times when he was doing penance down to Pawtucket, when he was sent down. And he'd stop and talk to everybody.
He did. He was a really
and you know what?
gregarious type person.
And not only that, but he spoke very kindly, softly. Wasn't the whack job that he was meant.
No,
the newspapers reported, and all. And he was a gentleman.
Yep.
I asked him a couple of questions, and he went right on and answered them in great length. And, about growing up and breaking into baseball, and just a great guy. Most of the players that I talked to down there, pretty nice.
Yeah.
A couple of them were brusque, but for the most part, they realized that this was part of the shtick of being a professional ball player, is to relate to the fans,
Oh yeah, they want the PR at that point, particularly.
Yeah.
They don't want to get a reputation as a troublemaker.
Bad PR is not a good thing.
No, not in sports.
No. I have one more thing. J.D. Vance and his discussion with Martha Raddatz
Who's that?
on ABC News.
Okay. I don't know names very well. I don't pay
Well-
attention to people.
So she was saying, so you support Donald Trump. Do you support Donald Trump making those claims that the Republican mayor says were grossly exaggerated and have hurt the city's identity and sense of safety? I'm sorry. Let me start all over. This was the story about the Venezuelan gangs that had taken over
taking over the
apartments.
apartments, yeah.
And she says, so do you support Donald Trump making those claims the Republican mayor says were grossly exaggerated and have hurt the city's identity and sense of safety? I understand what you're saying, that some people left behind. But he's making these statements that the mayor is flat out disputing. And Vance's answer, well, Martha, you just said the mayor said they were exaggerated. And Raddatz said, grossly exaggerated. And Vance said, that means there's got to be some element of truth here. And of course, President Trump was actually in Aurora, Colorado, talking to people on the ground. And what we're hearing, of course, Martha, is that people are terrified by what happened with some of these gangs. Senator Vance, I'm going to stop you because I know exactly what happened. I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on these concerns. A handful of problems. Vance, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem, and not Kamala Harris's open border. And he went on and on. And he laid it into her for a full paragraph. And she said, okay, let's just end this. That what they did not invade or take over the city, as Donald Trump said.
That's common.
But-
Sometimes a lot of these
Yeah.
ideas and stuff do have a kernel of truth. It's like a raindrop getting built around a speck of dust.
Yeah.
But it's still a speck of dust. But you never know where the hell they're going on them things.
It seems to me, though, that several complexes were taken over by armed gangs.
That one had a ring of a possibility of, just by the way the answers were done with that one.
Yeah, and she wanted to make her point as a member of the press, and he said to her,
God, there it is.
"Hear yourself. Only a handful taken over by armed terrorists, illegals.
Yeah.
You know.
But we don't know what the hell happened, but it had to be something to start that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Trump put out the word that it was happening,
Well.
and she tried to tamp it down. Oh, well, no, the police have taken care of it, and they hadn't. And Vance called her on it.
You got sometimes, even the dog and cat eating episode there in Springfield.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. That got to be that got to be embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Trump, when they called him on it, he says, "Well, it was on TV." Well, don't say that.
Yeah. The Donald is sometimes gets a little carried away.
Yeah, he does. Well, you know what I've noticed too, and this always bit me, is that the media and press will make a big deal about something, and then it goes away. You don't know was it resolved? What happened? Nothing. It just disappears.
Yeah, but you know what? That's yesterday's news.
Yesterday's news.
Yeah.
You remember the fusses they used to be making about gas-powered leaf blowers?
Yep.
Oh, God, cities were making laws and have you heard about a gas-powered leaf blower lately?
They're all around. They're still
They're
here.
still there. Nobody's making a fuss over them now.
No, because the electrics weren't powerful enough.
Yeah.
Oh, you can only run them for 30 minutes, and then you got to put them on the charger. So you got to take the battery off and put another battery on.
Oh, the guy that did blew some leaves for me. He had one of them battery ones. I was impressed with it. The battery stuff. I guess I don't know what I was thinking they were going to do. Like your chainsaw that Patrick brought over time. That thing cut
Yeah.
through it was that big. It just cut right through it. Now I remember having an electric chainsaw years ago with a plug-in. It wouldn't
Yeah.
do anything.
Susie's got a couple of weed whackers, and they work for exactly 35 minutes.
Do they?
Yeah, and she brings it in the house and says, "Can you put a new battery in this?" The guy that designed, now maybe it's the best, so the kids can't pull it apart or something. I don't know, but the guy that designed the way the battery, it's a pretty good sized square, and your hand has got to be big and strong to squeeze
Squeeze
both
the thing,
sides
yeah.
and pull it off. 'Cause she can't do it, but it works. And by the time 35 minutes is up, she's tired of doing it. So I think that, you're limited to battery design
Yeah, exactly.
in those
But I was surprised
devices.
the stuff they got is batteries. They got I don't know who's got it. It was a 0-turn radius lawnmower.
Yeah,
Great big thing.
I know.
It's all battery run.
You know what? Some of these small devices going up through chainsaws and stuff like that, and lawnmowers have gone over to electric,
Yep.
and they work.
Yeah.
So,
But my brother-in-law, he said, like on a farm, he's looking at a battery-powered, what do they call them? ATVs
yeah,
for around the farm and stuff. He's got gas ones, but he says it'd be perfect for that because you don't go miles with them.
right.
You just use them.
Yeah, you go out to check on
Yeah.
the cows in the back 40 or,
Yeah, you haul.
Yeah.
You got a little pickup thing in the back, and you haul stuff around with
yeah.
it.
And you don't run them around the clock.
No.
They just run them during the day when you're working.
Yep.
And clunk, plug them in, and that's it. Long as the electrical costs aren't sky high.
Yeah.
By the way, some people are telling me they're getting electric bills that are out of sight.
Yeah.
My electric bill, knock on wood, has stayed low.
Yeah, mine's relatively low.
I don't have air conditioning.
I don't either.
Well, listen, I think we've come to the end of
Think so.
a fun-filled
Another Emmy Award. Program.
I know that this will be sent to the Library of Congress
Oh, absolutely. They're probably waiting outside for it right now.
in a truck, an electric truck.
Electric, that's right.
So, folks, vote early, vote often,
Yeah,
and make sure you vote.
that was Mayor Daley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Vote often, early and often.
Mayor Curley.
Curly. That was
Mayor
it.
Curley.
All right.
Early and often.
All right, guys.
So, anyway,
Happy fall.
happy fall, and we'll catch you the next time.
Be good.